Hello and welcome. The following group of stories you can find in a Reddit post posted 2 years ago by When Machines Cry. Police sketches of a serial killer and other terrifying criminals who have never been caught and could be living amongst us, with backstories. The link will be down below. Connecticut River Killer. On October 25, 1978, the body of a 27-year-old Kathy Milliken was found in a wetland preserve in New London, New Hampshire. She had been stabbed 29 times. Over the course of the next decade, her killer is believed to have been responsible for the murders of at least 6 more women in the Claremont, New Hampshire, and Connecticut River Valley areas. Most of the victims were found with multiple stab wounds. However, the killer's activity in the area seemed to come to a halt after one of the victims survived his attack. On the evening of August 6, 1988, a pregnant woman named Jane Borowski pulled into a convenience store parking lot in West Swansea. She was attacked and stabbed multiple times by an unidentified male assailant who left her for dead and drove away. Borowski survived the attack and drove off to find help, but was soon horrified to discover that she had inadvertently caught up with her attacker's vehicle and was now driving directly behind him. Thankfully, she was able to make it to a friend's house and received medical attention. Over the years, Borowski has come to believe that her attacker was a Vietnam veteran named Michael Niccolo, who would become a suspect in the disappearance of his wife in late 1988. In 2005, Niccolo murdered his new wife and stepdaughter before killing himself. However, authorities have been unable to conclusively determine if he was actually the Connecticut River Valley killer. New Orleans serial killer. New Orleans police are searching for an unknown man that is believed to be responsible for 8 or more murders. The first victim, 17-year-old Daniel Britton, was found on August 4, 1991, at an illegal dump site. The second victim, Brenda, survived but was severely injured in the attack by the unknown man. He began following her one night while she was going to a friend's house. He abducted her and took her to the same site where Danielle would be found and tried to strangle her. She awoke the next day and described her attacker to police. A third victim, Charlene Price, would be found on September 22, 1991, dumped just 1 mile from where Danielle was found. The fourth victim was found on December 14, 1991, and has never been identified. She was 5'2", 125 pounds, and had protruding front teeth. On January 14, 1992, 29-year-old Lydia Madison was found murdered and was the 5th victim. She was found very close to police headquarters. 3 other victims would later be found dead. The total number was now 8. 7 of them were found within a 3-mile radius. The man is described as clean-cut, well-dressed, and 5'10" with a muscular build. He was driving a blue Regal or Monte Carlo. He has never been identified. Victor Grant, a New Orleans police officer, is suspected in 2 of the murders, one of the victims being his girlfriend. He has never been charged. However, in 1998, another suspect named Russell Elwood was arrested for 2 of them. He was later charged with second-degree murder and is suspected in a total of 8. Police, however, believe that there's another suspect and he's yet to be identified. The Byrd Road Rapist. Between 1977 and 1979, a man dubbed the Byrd Road Rapist kidnapped and raped several women throughout different cities in Florida. In 1980, a cook named Luis Diaz was ID'd by one of the victims as the rapist. Diaz was brought in for questioning, but police could find no evidence at first that he was the rapist, especially because he did not fit the look of the rapist. A few weeks later, several victims ID'd him as well, and he was arrested. In 1980, Diaz was convicted of the rapes and sentenced to life in prison. Although several sequences of evidence started to surface saying that Diaz was actually innocent, including several bystanders who later concluded that Diaz was not the assailant. Despite this, Diaz remained in prison and the real Byrd Road rapist apparently remains at large. In 2005, after 25 years in prison, Luis Diaz was released after DNA found on the victim did not ID him as a rapist, and the real Byrd Road rapist has never been caught nor ID'd.